Hello Stampers, welcome to another video with Design with Jo. Today I'm going to show you a card that I posted on my blog for using up your paper scraps. So on the outside of the card we're going to use some scraps and put on an embellishment, but it's really the inside of the card that is a little bit of a wow. So it's a pop-up card that has, this particular one has 5 different flowers on it, and you put them together with some glue dots, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So here's my card. So I'm going to tell you what the measurements are. So the card itself is thick whisper white and it's 5.5 by 8.5. I have a piece of mint macaron here in behind, which is 4 by 5.5. My sugar plum is 3 3/4 by 5.5. And then I have 5 different strips that are 1 by 3 3/4. So I've glued those all together. And now I'm going to take a piece of ribbon and I'm just going to put my ribbon along the bottom. I'm putting it onto my glue dot. And then I'm going to put it along my bottom, and this just keeps it, holds it in place very quickly and easily. Alright, so you're just going to put that down, stretch it a little bit. And then I'm going to use a little bit of glue, liquid glue, on the back. And I like liquid glue because you can actually hold it in place. And I put a little bit on top of my ribbon, just so that it's held in place as well. And I like the liquid glue because you can still move it around and it doesn't stick down really quickly. Oh, sorry, my head is probably in the way. Okay, so there's the front of your card, and I'll give you some hints on the flower embellishment in just a minute, but now we're going to do the inside of the card. So for the inside you need 5 die cuts or punches where when they are folded in half they overlap each other completely. So here's my flower opened up. However, when it's folded in half, it overlaps on the petals completely. So what you need to do is have your punched out or your cutout. This is one of the sweet succulents, the so succulents rather. And you're going to place it so that the tip of one petal and the tip of another petal directly across from it sits inside the little grooved little channel. I close that, holding it in place with my finger. Then I'm going to use the scoring tool. Make sure it's the tan colored scoring tool, not the darker gray colored one, because you'll cut it in half. I love this scoring tool actually because it's not deep enough that it's going to score right through the paper. It's just going to give you a little bit of a ridge there. You can probably not really see it in the camera, but there is one that's scored there. So now that I have it scored, I'm just going to fold along the score line. And I'm going to do that first with my fingers and get it lined up perfectly. And then I'm going to come in with my folding bone and just give that a nice crisp edge. Okay, and you're going to do that with all 5 of your flowers, which I've already done for you here. So then once you have your flowers all folded in half, we're going to put them together and we're going to use glue dots. Glue dots are a thicker and going to hold a little bit more stronger for you, so that's what you want to use. You're going to lay them all so they're pointing the same side, so for pointing the same way, sorry. So for me, the fold is all along the left, and I'm going to put a glue dot in the first full petal that I can see there. So I'm going to lay that down using my piercing tool. And then I'm going to lay another flower directly over top of that one. And here is where it's going to stick as soon as you put it down. And you're going to do that for each one of your petals. Okay, so I'll do this really quickly for you. You could try this with liquid glue. I just like the instant adhesion that you get with the glue dots. And it is stuck. It's not going anywhere. So you're putting 5 of them together, one right on top of the other. It might seem a little bit bulky, but that's okay. That's what we want. Okay, so that's what you have when you're done. And now we're going to put that on the inside of the card. So I start on the right-hand side of my card first, and so I've turned it over, turn my flower piece over, and I'm going to put a glue dot again on that same top flower, but I'm going to put it on the bottom so that when I turn it over, this is actually going to stick to my card. So I'm going to bring my card in here again, and I'm going to place my flower so that it is a little ways from the top and a little ways from the side. And I don't want it too close to the middle because you won't actually get it fanning out. So I'm going to put mine right about here, and this is where I have my glue dot. So I'm going to press that down. Then they're going to take one more glue dot, and the last glue dot is going to go on that same petal, but on the top, and then you're going to fold your card. Don't try and take your petal to your card. We're going to fold the card over so that when we open, we actually have our petals all folded out. So I'm going to show you just a couple other examples of that and a couple things that I learned as I was doing this. So on the first card that I made, I used the bigger die cut. And I was thinking that that's just almost a bit too big. The flowers don't open up enough for me. On the second one I made, I realized after I made it that my glue dot to the card is in the petal, just like I did it here, but my glue dots holding the flowers together is actually lower on the petal. So it created more of an arc going this way on the card than the one I just did, which is a little bit straighter and almost a teeny arc going the other way. So just something a little bit different, and that was totally by accident. On the last card that I did, I changed up the middle of the flower and used a piece of Whisper White. So Whisper White is not as heavy as some of the other cardstock that we have, and so it worked really well. It wasn't too bulky in there. And this card isn't really bulky anyway. So we're just going to decorate the front of it and then we'll be done. So just a little hint as we are making our flower, our embellishment on the front. I took a variety of the colors of flower, and I decide what's going to be my bottom to top, and I put a little dab of glue on each one except the top one. So that white one is going to be my top one. And then I just lay them one over top of the other. And here I just lay it so that it's a little bit off center so I can see the petal coming from below. Don't stick your finger right in the glue. There you go. So then I'm going to take a basic rhinestone and stick that on. One dimensional on the back. And then I place that down on my card. And you're done. So you have a card that's not only pretty to look at on the outside, but really fun when somebody opens it up on the inside. I'm going to show you one more card that I made, showing you a different shape, and this one is with hearts, and it gives you a little bit different look, a nice bold color on these ones. So just to show you that there's all kinds of options. You can use flowers, you can use hearts. Anything, again, that overlaps on itself is a perfect die cut. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like it and send it and share it with your friends. And I'll see you next time on another video from Design with Jo.